Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I'm actually in a coffee shop right now. So I'm changing it up for you a little bit. Maybe there's some radio in the background, but I thought, you know what? We'll change it up today. So you got the coffee background. I'm going to put my shades, my glasses here, my blue lighters. My ex contacted me out of no contact. What now? This actually came up in a comment in one of the past videos. And someone said it's been a year, 1 year. Clara Bell, who's been on the live stream months ago, and I made comments on the channel, so I thought I'd unpack this a little bit. And what do you do if my ex contacted me? It's been 1 year, 6 months, 8 months. It's been a long time, and you're thinking, what do I do? What now? What do you want? Right? If you're doing really well without them, you got a lot of ducks in the row and you got buckets filled up and you're doing your thing. Do you really need to revisit the relationship? What's up, Tommy? So a lot of times that's what you're searching for is the ex coming back or when are they going to come back? But the reality is if they hit you up and they say, hey, what's going on? How have you been? It's not that big a deal if you've been in no contact, you've been doing your thing, you've been doing outside things. And so it's okay for you to go, you know what? At this point, I'm doing really well. I don't even know if I want to meet up with them. But you don't want to get in a situation where you start getting frantic and getting butterflies. You should be in a position where you feel really comfortable. You know what you want. And it's a really, really good place to be when you go, oh, they contact me. That's kind of cool. Instead of going, oh my God, they hit me up. I don't know what to do. If you feel like that, I don't know if that's the best time to talk to them. So let me know out there, Marissa Garcia. I don't know if you've been on the live stream before. This feels awkward being in the coffee shop, but thought I would try something different for you guys today. It's a really cool coffee shop, though. That's the desk in the back. Let's see the lights here. Yeah. So the lighting's up different here. So, Marissa, do you have any questions? Luna Martinez. There's such a coincidental topic you decide to do tomorrow, the 24th. We've been 7 years together with her. I'm almost into 4 months into no contact. I've noticed the no contact has begun getting to her. How have you noticed that? Because if you've noticed that, then that seems to me that you've been in some kind of covert contact with her. 4 months is a long time, and I'm sure it is. Out of a 7-year relationship, would have been 7 years together. But yeah, that's a long time. And she's probably wondering what you're up to. And a lot of times, sometimes in the beginning, they're kind of like, wow, they're not contacting me. They're surprised and shocked. Is this music in the background bothering anyone? I'm not going to be able to turn it off, but it's the cafe music if they can hear me all right. So, Marissa, my ex texted me the other day, hope you are doing well. I replied to today, I'm doing fine. Hope you too. Then I haven't received a response yet. Marissa, what do you want from them? Do you want to hang out? Where do you want to go with that? That's what's funny is people throw out little lines where they're like, hey, how have you been? Right? They're fishing. They're fishing also. It's a fishing expedition. They want to see if you still have interest. They want to see what you're up to. It doesn't necessarily mean that they want to get into bed with you or they want to be long-term partners. They're wondering what's going on and how you're going to receive the message. And so in that moment, if you want to say, hey, how have you been, and see where it goes, that's fine. But people, if you respond with a, hey, I'm doing well, I hope you're doing well too, that conveys to them that you're neutral. Maybe you don't really have a lot of interest in going back to it. Yeah, haha, covert spying, Sherlock Martinez. So yesterday she tweeted, I love my girls. And the following tweet was a screenshot of a post. It basically said, it hurts you now, but within time, you will begin to feel better. It might take time, but eventually. So you're contributing that quote to you. Okay, so could be. Could be that, some pet in the family died or something. I don't know, but you don't want to be associated with that stuff. 50% I want them back, 50% I want to move on. All right, well, I would say, what are your reasons for moving on? And what are your reasons for moving back? But here's the elephant in the room, Miss Marissa Garcia. How are you going to start a good relationship when you're only 50% interested? If you are 100% all in on the relationship, or you're 100% interested in going back. If it's not a hell yeah, I'm in or I'm interested or that, if you're 50-50, You guys can go out and see what happens, but you got one foot out the door. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 50-50. I don't know if I've been like that before. I would say I wouldn't use the term 50-50. I like the idea that you go into – I had an ex call me back, and like I said before, if you've heard my stories before, this is probably redundant for some people, but we weren't an item in the sense that we were official. We were seeing each other for, I don't know, 3-4 months, long distance for a month, and then she said she couldn't handle the long distance, and I was completely fine with it. I mean, I wanted to carry on the friends with benefits long distance, and she said she couldn't. And then, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months later, she hit me up. I don't know when it was. And when she hit me up, I was surprised, but we just went into a good conversation and carried on. And we didn't have to, get deep on if you like me or you don't like me. And then when we met up the next time, we hooked up, and it was good from there. I missed that damn connection. We had, if it wasn't for our amazing intimacy, I would have moved on eons ago when she dumped. It sucks having nightmares of her. Even within my dreams, I get. Well, if you were Luna, if you were with someone for damn near 7 years, it's going to take time. And you're lying to yourself, and you're only going to hurt yourself worse if, you get drunk every night and you just hook up with other women and stuff. You got to deal with and heal your scars right now. Like I said, if you're playing hoops and you roll your ankle, the doctor goes, yeah, you got to stay off this thing for 2 weeks or else you're going to injure it worse. It's the same thing with your heart and breaking up. Sometimes you got to stay off things for a little while and then kind of regroup so that you're going to be back on deck at your best. This light keeps on going in and out with that desk, huh? I might switch it up here in a little bit. It's bothering me. Found out my ex dog may be dying. I love that dog, but I don't think it's worth breaking no contact when she's the one who stopped contacting me. Sucks, though. Thanks for the glasses, Young Zhang. Love the name. Yun Zhang? Where are you from? Where's that name from? Is that Chinese? That might be an ignorant question. Yeah, I've had people, Brian, actually before hit me up that they wanted to contact their ex about a dog dying. And I've said this, and the guy was like, what do you think? He goes, I really cared about that dog. But he told me, I'm already moved on with a new girlfriend. I really just want to say, sorry to hear about Fido or, whatever the dog's name was. And he said he decided instead just to say a prayer at church. He goes to church every Sunday, and he said that he decided to do that instead. Brian, if something happens to the dog and you want to send your condolences, as long as you're not attached to that and thinking that, it might be an in for you, then that's fine. Otherwise, say it to yourself, silent prayer or words of thanks. Words of thanks, words of condolence. What would be that? I don't drink or hook up with randoms. If I'm not with her, I'd rather be single and spin plates in the future when the time comes. Well, that's good, Luna. Well, you know where you stand and you know who you are. That's the good news, dude. I might switch this. This light's bothering the fuck out of me. Is that better? Maybe that's better. Just farther back. The light's going. Is this a sign for people? It's like a strobe light. So, Marissa Garcia, does that help you? Do you have further questions on this? This live stream is probably not going to be as long, being that I'm in this coffee shop. My mood was thrown off 2 days ago. I found out she got her first tattoo last week due to seeing her profile picture. Sucks that she's doing all this new stuff once she dumped me. Where's your power, Luna? Stop the social media hawking. Stop the social media Sherlock work, right? It's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve you. Especially you guys are 7 years deep. Everything she does, you're going to scrutinize. You're going to pick up, and it's just going to – you're not going to be able to fully move on by looking at that stuff. And so do whatever you have to do to cut the social media, block the individual, and move forward. And I'll tell you what, if she finds out she's fully blocked, because she probably knows, because this is the funny thing about this stuff, is she knows that you're looking at her social media, right? She probably knows, and that keeps you connected, and it makes her feel good. And if you can somehow fully disconnect from that, if you're looking for her to come back to you in some way, that would be that. I was having a reoccurring nightmare about my ex's parents standing by the bed after my ex had a baby, staring at me like they wanted to kill me. Wow, that's deep. That's deep, Nico. That might be a therapist session for you. She's 100% knows that he's looking at the social media. Yeah, that might be. There's something deep there on that one, Nico. The fact that they wanted to kill you is not the best thing in a dream. I have the power. I just got sideswiped, and it definitely threw my mood off. I've been sleeping in due to that. What's sideswiped? Sideswiped in a car or sideswiped on Tinder? What are you thinking? Rob, I think you're correct too. And I don't think it's really not, you're not really fully in no contact if you're checking out their because basically what you're doing is you're doing a little camouflage, little another stakeout. Emilio Estevez, if you remember that movie. You're outside in the car, looking up at the window. They know for sure. My ex never makes public posts now. She always makes her post public. Sideswipe Timber. I've never done Tinder, but friends that are doing it all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I just got a Tinder. I got a Tinder," and they told me that a friend of mine that's a girl was saying that all these guys always have disguises on, and she's like, "I'm never gonna go out with them when they have a disguise or glasses." I'm confused. He broke up with me, so I did no contact. Then he texted me. I replied, but no more response. I don't want to initiate conversation unless he texts me first. Okay, you got your rules set in place. Why do you want, Marissa, why do you want him back? What's the 50%? And why do you not want to continue? Make that as simple as possible in the answers. Our Twitter is public. My Twitter is disabled. I have my Instagram public and have been posting videos of my life going to concerts. Okay, well, get off her Twitter. Why don't you do this, Luna? Just try this as a little experiment, okay? Be a social scientist for a month. Go off social media for a month, just for yourself, social media fast, not for her, not for anything else. See how it goes. See if it helps you. I've had other people do it, and they're like, actually, I felt really good. CW, the Mr. Corey Wayne, says the dumper must reach out first. Alpha Cat. My ex just called me by the nickname she gave me after 1 month. 2 weeks. Don't know how to reply. Still have feelings for her. Well, if she gave you your playful nickname, then that's like a little sweet something. But I don't know your story, Alpha Cat, so I can't really get too detailed. The praying is similar to what I do when I'm meditating and their memory comes back. I just focus on the positive and wish them well. That's outstanding, Felipe. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's a good way to be if you can be that way. You want to share what the pet name is, Alpha Cat? Because I bet it's not Alpha Cat. I bet she didn't hit you up and go, "Hey, Alpha Cat, how have you been?" So glad I don't do social media. I think there's going to be, in the future, there's going to be some social media rehabs for people. I'm dead serious. Because there's some people out there that are absolutely addicted. Hey, Alpha Cat, how are you? Mac, I did it for a month straight during July. I guess it didn't work out for me. Well, what reasons did you do it for? Did you do it for her? Did you do it for yourself? How was it? My pet name was Bebe. Remember Bebe's Kids, the cartoon? That could be a startup business, social media rehab. I'm dead serious, dude. They do, a friend of mine, a good friend of mine in California does, it's almost like social work for wealthy people. So like when families have problems, they call her in, and she has access to a lot of camps and rehabilitation clinics that are expensive all over the world. And she said one of the best things for most problems for teenagers is something called wilderness camp. And they basically go out in the wilderness and camp out for 2-3 weeks and just live off the land as a small group. And they also do talks and different things and get away from all social media and stuff. She called me B. Well, your first name must start with a B, right? I've heard a lot about rebounds, Brian. That's why I try my best to stay away from one night flings. I don't know if I mean, dude, if you live in Vegas, I mean, I wouldn't be scared of if you're, what are you staying away from by not getting involved in a one night stand? I mean, I certainly don't think in my lifetime, having a one-night stand. I didn't go out and go, I'm going to find a one-night stand tonight. But I mean, if it happened and I'm single and I was in a good place in my life, I don't think that's a horrible thing to do. I bet your guy responds if you say something perverted. Translation, that's what Nico would respond to. That's a projection. Daniel Calamare, what's up, buddy? Hello, Mac. Just stopped by to say hey and hoping all is well with you. Well, thanks for the likes, folks. It's been going well. The live streams have been a little bit more lively, a little bit more talkative, and I appreciate that. Patricia Early, go ahead and shoot a question. I haven't seen you on the live stream before. One night stands just got to be aware of diseases. True that, Rob. Thanks for making it real quick. I've found out now dating that I just don't have that spark like I had with my ex, so I just focus on my fitness and my new job. Well, in the meantime, you'll grow into it, bro. And then, Brian, eventually, we talked about this before, moving out of this current apartment you're in is the next step, because that's where you and your ex spent a lot of time. I know you signed a new lease, got a good memory, and start looking for a new neighborhood to move into and something that's a little bit more exciting for you. And then that's the next step. And then I hope that the Rational Male, Models, maybe read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Read a couple books. I don't know if you've already done that, but add that to your fitness and your new job just to put a little self-improvement spice in there. Mix it up, because that's where you're at right now. You're working on yourself. So those are a few good books, Brian. Get an audio book. And some of these books on YouTube, they have them, if you call it bootlegged or whatever, you can find some of these books. Patricia Early, grew up hella early. Likewise, I posted a before and after of my arms 2 days ago. You can easily see my workout transformation, not to mention about 6 of my friends commented with supporting words. Felt great, I know. Good for you. She saw the post and comments as well. Good for you. Mac, I've been great. Guess what? I'm nearly a year of being single. I have grown so much mentally, physically, and spiritually. Fucking outstanding. And we still got, Daniel, you're going to move to Austin, the Bay Area, or San Diego. Have you narrowed it down yet? You're in Texas already. No, you're in South Carolina. But you want to move to the Bay or San Diego? Still debating. I'd go Diego or the Bay for sure. North Carolina. If you don't have the cash, all those books are on the torrent sites. Really? I didn't even know that. Thanks, Rob. I mean, I guess I'm one of those people. I like to support the author if they do good work and pay for it on Audible or something like that for me. But I if you don't have the cash, fine. I think Rob's the same way. Really? I'll be in California. I'm leaving for a flight tomorrow. I'll be in Cali from the 26th to the 11th, Rob. Flying to SFO Saturday night. You're back in San Fran? Nah, I'm going to visit my family, but I won't be in San Fran. I'll probably be, a buddy of mine lives in Oakland. I might stay there for a night. The lighting looks perfect, Mac. The music isn't loud at all. Thanks for the heads up, Luna Martinez. It's a cool place. I'll show you guys this place. Actually, the back is it's a pretty nice coffee spot, right? That's in Thailand, dude. It's a nice place, huh? 26. That's a great year to be alive, man. 26 years old. Good for you. I'm going to be briefly to a conference in LA. Live and die in LA. When's the next live stream going to be? I'll be doing live streams when I'm in the States. I'll probably do them at a different time. They'll probably be in the mornings. Right now is the morning for me. It's like 11:40 a.m. and it'll probably be morning and afternoons. Because if you're Tommy, you're Texas, so you're Midwest. Yeah, they'll be during the day. They won't, like right now they're at night for you guys. I like to do it in the morning when I've had coffee. The coffee in the photos behind you looks delicious. Thanks, bud. Why is it empty there? It's a beautiful place. There's some places like this right now. It's low season. There's not a lot of people in Phuket. It's an expensive place too, and a lot of people come to Thailand to be cheap. It's actually not expensive by Western prices. A good breakfast here is like $8 or $9, $10, which in Thailand's expensive. Luna, if you want to get that arm thickness up, focus on doing neutral grip pull-ups. Do them. All right, nice. Thanks, Nico, for giving a little advice. Right on, bud. I'm starting to get accustomed to the single life. LOL. Would that be normal for an individual in their early 20s? I hope so. I mean, at some point, you got to embrace being single as a positive, especially, when you're in your early 20s. You've never been in better shape. You're lively. You should have your health. So get your ass off the mat, man. 26th of October is my birthday. Well, 2 days from now, Patricia. Where are you at in the world, Patricia? And do you have any questions about your breakup, your relationship? Close grip or dumbbell presses for the tricep with skull crushers for the horseshoe tricep pop. Damn, dude. Skull crushers? I don't know what those are. What's up, Dylan? You want to ask that question? What can you advise if I want my ex back, and advise if I want to move on? Number one, send your story into writemac.com and everything will be fine. No, just joking. Send your story in. Send your story into writemac.com and I'm sorry, Patricia, I forgot. Marissa, send your full story into writemac.com. The idea that I can tell you what to do, I don't know what went on, is ridiculous. So that's your first step. Rancho Cucamonga. I've never been there, actually. If anything, I'd like to. I'm only home for 2 weeks, so I probably won't go. But I have a really good friend that lives in, I haven't seen for a while. What's that area called? Dana Point? No. Right next to Dana Point, which is near Laguna Beach. I got to email him, actually. Pull-up and pressing will get better arm development than curls and extensions. Pull-ups are underrated, huh? What about push-ups? Just pull-ups and push-ups are supposed to be as good as anything, right, Nico? How are you, Mac? I'm outstanding. Thanks for asking. Marissa, okay, thank you. Yeah, Marissa, put your name to it. Write out your story fully. If you want it to be private, that's paid. If you want to do a coaching session, that's paid. If you agree to a public, you can make a donation if you find it useful or helpful. But make sure if you're doing it public that you're okay with it going public. I don't share your name. We found Nico's wheelhouse here. Are you a personal trainer on the side, Nico? Rugby player, 6 feet, big dude, kicking ass, taking names. Steelers fan, possibly. Are the public vids your daily vids you post? Yeah, when someone sends a story in, and I overlook it. A lot of times when I make the videos, I do not read them prior, so I read them fresh because I want it to come off fresh. I don't want to be looking at it. How should I answer this? Because it's a flow state when I answer your story. But the thing is, doing this for a couple of years, some people, I didn't know you were going to make a video. I just thought you could email me and then give me some information. And well, look, if I'm going to do it for free, let's share it with everyone. Then we have some content on the channel. Some people, it's really interesting. It doesn't happen a lot, but the amount of people that are you do something free or you go out of your way and they're still selfish. That tells me maybe why your ex broke up with you. And they're pushy. Hey, did you get to my thing yet? Hey, did you get my video? Hey, I don't mean, I'm I can see why they broke up with you right now. They don't start out things like, hey, I really like your channel, this or that. It's hey, I think you can help me. I'm going to give this a shot. One guy started off, he sent in his story and he goes, yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos online. I really like Corey Wayne, but he's a bit too expensive. So I chose to write to you. I'm oh, well, thanks. It's well, what can I do about a guy that talks to you on and off? He wants to meet finally, but doesn't have the nerve to ask. To ask what? To ask what? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff for my chest and my arms. Okay, the gym talk, the move to Rancho in the Friday sequel. Yeah, I know that, Nico. That's what I always think about. Rancho Cucamonga is from the next Friday, they call it. I like the original Friday, though. That's my dog. You got anything to say to me? That's my dog. That was a great scene. Chris Tucker, I thought he was going to be huge. Carmine, no desire to contact ex-girlfriend. No contact is easy for me, but I feel like she won't ever reach out. Well, if it's easy for you, you shouldn't be worried if she does or she doesn't. That's the key to the game. Good point. Free, selfish, pushy, those are signs. It is, Rob. Sometimes the way someone writes their story or talks to me, like someone will say, oh, I like your channel, or hey, I wanted some advice. Okay. They'll be like, yeah, I think you can help me. Let me see if you can. And then in the future, if you do help me, maybe I'll consider doing a donation. It's like, okay, dude. You told me this, but I want you to do this, or the follow up with like more questions, wanting more and more and more from you. And it's like, look, you know what? I can tell you're annoying. What do I do if I've been seeing my ex recently and we end up really bad in the past, but now she's like playfully flirting with me? Well, James Strain, I would say continue to playfully flirt together and take it one step at a time. Don't bring up that past if it's been forgiven. And be in the moment, be present, go out, have fun, have a good time, get into connection mode. And if that ended bad, until she brings it up, don't dwell on that, because you're starting a new relationship if you get back together. I just want to take her to bed again and see how we feel about it. Not going to happen now. After you said some fucked up stuff, Nico. So yeah, new to your channel from Canada. Carmine. I'm thinking of Goodfellas. Isn't that an Italian in Goodfellas, Carmine, or The Sopranos? Well, I hope you like the channel, Carmine. Let me know if you have any questions. Close to Vancouver. Okay. I've been to Victoria a few times. We got family friends that live there. I love that place. It's beautiful. Yeah, but well, you're fucking Carmine, dude. There's a Carmine in every gangster movie, right? Or mob movie. Right, I'm on the Sunshine Show. He didn't ask me out yet. Should I suggest something? I told you before, if I remember correctly, I don't have a problem with a woman asking a guy out. I mean, if you're interested, take the bull by the balls. Playfully flirting. Oh my, that brings back some charming memories. Yo, what up, Coach Mac, my fellow peeps? Mr. Juan, Bay Area people over there in Washington. Should I act interested in her even if she has a relationship with someone, even though he's kind of a rebound? Fuck no. First of all, why are you going to act any way that's not you? Number one, this is really simple. If you're acting and they find out, I mean, what then? You're not being yourself. Also, if an individual's in a new relationship, I mean, has some dignity in my book. You're assuming it's a rebound, whatever it is, but if I have an ex and I had a significant relationship with them and we were together and they get with someone new, maybe I'm bitter, maybe I'm hurt, maybe I'm unhappy, maybe I think the guy's an asshole, but I'll tell you this, I'm not going to let them know that. I mean, what's that accomplish? And I'm not going to sit there and compete when you're starting to sleep and hang out with a new guy. There's too many fish in the sea. He thinks I'm not that interested for some reason. We'll show him then. I mean, you don't have to come on strong, but you can say, hey, look, you could lead. And if you don't like that, maybe that's going to be the beginning of the end. But you can make the first move. You can. That's a huge red flag. Don't give your ex validation. Good point, Luna. What's the Sunshine Coast? What is that considered? I don't know that in Vancouver. So I guess it's okay if I asked him. I would rather him ask me. Well, I'm not asking what you'd rather do. I don't think that if you like him and you have feelings for him in 2019 in the 21st century, you are allowed to ask the guy out. It's not the 1950s. So if you want to lead and be a little bit aggressive because you're into him, fine, and then see where it goes. That's fine, right? That's fine. You'd prefer that he ask you out. If you need to push him forward a little bit, do it. If not, then move forward. But quit trying to bait him in. If he's fairly young and stuff, he just might be nervous. Ask him out. Say, hey, you know what? And tell him, hey, I got feelings for you. Where do you stand on this? Give him a kiss. Hey, Coach. Hey, everyone. Edmonton in the house. We got a little Canadian day today, huh? One of my clients lives in Winnipeg. Canada's a big place, huh? Good people in Canada. Very good people in Canada. I'd say living abroad, and I used to have a business that I met a lot of tours from different places. Canadians and Kiwis, New Zealanders are by far the kindest. Just kind, nice, good-hearted people. Hey, Coach. Hey, everyone. Edmonton in the house. Mac, did you have an answer for my question I asked you last night after the watching Last Breakup? Yes, I do. I think you've asked this before, haven't you? I'm sorry, bud, but didn't you ask this before? I'm going to pull up the question right now. Everyone can still see me, right? When I... Yeah. No, that was different. Why are you in Thailand? Why are you in Thailand, by the way? I've been here 10 years. I came over here as a teacher out of my about 1 year post-breakup. Said I wanted to live by the beach, live in a good lifestyle. I said I'd do it for a year or two, see how it goes. And then now I just love the place. I love living here. I've been here ever since. Beautiful place to live. You know the movie The Beach? Live by there. Here, I'm going to pull it up. Okay, so just to share what Dylan's asking. Hey, Mac. Sorry. Have you ever had a girl hit on you till you finally give in and date? I became friends with a girl from college on Snapchat a few years ago, and apparently she had feelings for me since college. We weren't friends back then. I don't think we had talked much either. She has depression and anxiety, and some questions she asked me feels like she's secretly trying to win me over. Well, if she has depression and anxiety, I mean, if you don't have depression and anxiety and you don't have any experience with that, you're entering an uphill battle in a relationship, especially with a younger person in college. That might sound harsh, but are you ready to be in a relationship with someone like that? Some questions she asked me feels like she's secretly trying to win me over, even though she said she doesn't have feelings for me. I told her a million times I've never had feelings for her. Okay, so you're concerned with what she wants. What do you want, Dylan? If you don't like her, tell her, hey, I just want to be friends. Most guys would say, I'll just turn this into friends with benefits and see where it goes. If you don't have that kind of interest, move forward, move on, and tell her. That's pretty cool. You speak the native language. I speak about 20 to 30% Thai. Thai is a difficult language to learn because it's got a lot of tones. But if someone's here visiting or something, they're always surprised I can communicate. And the funny thing is, when I go back to California and there's Asians behind the counter or something, I'm like, damn, you speak great English. It's just because I'm used to it. And then I'll speak a little bit of Thai to people that are Asian and in California, and I'm like, it's just your brain playing tricks on you. It's kind of funny. I was thinking of living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My dad lives there. Well, we have there's a couple people that lived in Myrtle Beach that have been on they say it's a nice place. I've heard good things about it. I'm from Germany originally. Wow. Okay. I actually rent my house to 3 guys from Germany every year on Airbnb. They come every year. They are early 30s. Really nice guys. And I've had a couple clients from Germany, and then been here in California over 30 years now. Wow. Being old and having relationship problems would make it suck even harder. Well, you won't know till you're old, right? Being old is a state of mind. What do you consider old, Nico? Oh, happens to me when I go to Germany to visit. As a former shy guy, I enjoyed the couple of times slightly older women flirted with me, and when I was a teenager. Good for you, Felipe. If you're shy, No More Mr. Nice Guy is a good book. Yeah, I think anytime a woman flirts with you or finds you attractive, or a man I don't know how women feel about it, because maybe men are a little bit more aggressive sometimes. But I mean, it's a compliment, right? Anyone that goes, oh my God, I can't believe they came up to me, is a bit shallow and self-absorbed. It should be flattering if someone finds you attractive. Thanks for the likes, folks. This is supposed to help algorithm. I think our live stream here has been going a lot better. I mean, we've been in the 20s each time, and that's why I'm making more of an effort to do it daily. Not that old. So getting back to your question, Dylan, If a woman's really interested in you, she's coming on to you, where's your power? If you don't like her, you just don't have to convey feelings towards her, right? I mean, if she's coming on to you and you say, yeah, we're just friends and you guys hang out, that's fine. It's actually a really good problem to have, and I wouldn't fret over it. It means that someone's attracted to you and you're having a good time, and maybe the person will surprise you. If you're highly, highly unattracted to the individual, like you'll never hook up with them, it's just not your type, then you probably should be upfront with them if they continue to be pushy, because then you're leading them on in some ways by going out with them regularly, knowing what they want. I look at my peers with divorces, messed up mortgages, guys that paid off their wives' student loans only to get screwed while they have kids involved, and realize I don't really have a problem. That's deep, Nico, but it's true. That's real talk. That's real talk. Yeah. Divorce is no joke, man. Yeah. It's a fearful place to be in. You put it like that. You explained it well. No, we went to college together, and since we became Snapchat friends, she starts to flirt and hit on me. Then she secretly tries to win my affection. You wouldn't believe some of the questions she asks. But what's the problem? You don't like that, or you do like it, or you feel like what's the problem? What do you want from this relationship? You just want to be friends? What makes me happy is the fact that the post-breakup, I've noticed a lot of women who look at me a lot. I dig that. It makes me feel good. Of course it does. It should. I mean, you're posting pictures of your biceps. Yes, doesn't always have to go anywhere with relationships. I got way more looks when I'm with a girl, because that makes women want to compete. I think there's something to that. Yeah, women are in competition. At the same time, nobody wants to waste time, right? Okay, Patricia, when people start going like, oh, I don't want to waste my time, there's no certainty in dating. People go, oh, we broke up, I wasted my time. Well, you never knew until you did it. And so that's where people get caught up, and they go, you're never going to know until you make the jump. And what I've noticed about a lot of successful people in business, they have a lot of failures. This is what's really interesting, is like everyone thinks that they just hit the jackpot. And the same thing with, people, you just assume someone's really good with women or good with men, or they just fell into some outstanding relationship. Now they put themselves in position, and they probably had a few failed relationships. And so don't ever get into a point where you're like, oh, if I asked them out, or I would just be wasting my time. That's ridiculous, because if it doesn't work out, that's your clarity. It closes the loop, and it makes you go, okay, that's not going to work. At least I tried, and I know, and now I know where we stand, and I never have to think about it again in a regretful way. All right, this has been a little quick one. Yes, but deceiving people out there. Okay, see, here's the problem. Yeah, and there's some people that are dead honest all the time. You know what I mean? When you start filtering for deceiving, yeah, my mom does this sometimes. Oh, these people are so sad. Everything's so sad. And it's like you're filtering for that. The world has 7 billion people. They're not all deceiving. And when you throw out, yeah, there's some deceiving people out there, that just means that you've had some deceiving people in your life, and now you think more or less more are like that. And that you're going to narrow your field with thinking like that. And so open yourself up to the fact that people aren't all deceiving. Coach Glenn Byrne, top of the morning to you. Hard to know who to trust. Well, sometimes you got to give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove you wrong, and you got to trust your decision-making skills. Everyone's capable of getting burned, right? I've said to her, I'm not interested, I'm dating, and we've never been in a relationship. I nearly did myself a girlfriend twice when I was year 12, though. Well, we got these. Hello, everyone. Hello, this. Hello, that. Well, Patricia, you got problems with trusting your decision making. So if I had to guess, you had a past relationship where someone deceived you or burned you or cheated on you, and now you're assuming that the next relationship will be the same. And I would tell you to send in your breakup story to me or someone else, get to the bottom, get to the roots of it, and get at a point where you go, okay, not everyone's like this. Is it 8 billion people, Sabina? I believe you. Very good. It was just a great day today. Thank you for asking. Sabina's popular. Sabina's got a great little picture there, too. Because not a lot of people put their pictures up on this. Sorry, I'm checking my phone, which I never do. I'm going to organize this. Dank? Is that a German word? You don't have to give yourself a push. Just ask the guy out and tell him how you feel, Patricia, and let the cards fall where they are. What do you have to lose? Then you at least know where you stand. Got some great news today, too, for sure. Going to Hawaii next week, Wednesday. Wow, outstanding, dude. I just wrote someone in a email today talking to them that they've been dating for a while and they haven't met, someone that they really like yet. And I go, it's not like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Have you guys seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Great movie where the guy just goes to Hawaii out of a breakup, has a hot receptionist that's single and likes him, and they start dating immediately. It's like you'd like to think that that's how it goes down, but it doesn't really go down that way. It takes time to meet a good match. You're dying in the heat, Dylan? I'm sorry to hear that, bud. Go for a swim. Get an ice bath. All right, folks, do you have any questions? I think we're going to cut this one a little short today. It's a little later than I usually start. There goes my imagination. Oh, are you talking about the movie? Because of Sarah Marshall? I don't know. I've only been to Hawaii once. Been to Kauai when I was like 13. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, I live on an island, so I like island life. I'm having a background investigation done for me for a job, and I'm praying they don't talk to my ex. From what I understand, they only do that if you were married. Thank God. Well, wish you all the best, Nico. In the future, you shouldn't say some of the things you said. No pools where I'm at the moment, Mac. If it's not hot over your way, I might come over there instead. I don't know what it is in. I can look it up really quick. What's poop? Because see, we're on degrees in America, and so when you guys ask me this, Phuket is. Oh shit! Today's 30. Off and on rain, so we're the same. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Mac. We appreciate you and your time. Feels great to hear your opinions. Hope to hear from you soon. Living in Vienna, German-speaking, Patricia. Vienna's supposed to be nice. Supposed to be a really nice place. I've had a client that actually lived in Vienna that was Australian. Worked for the ballet, I believe, there. There's a really big ballet there. Good to see you on the live stream, Mac. Appreciate it. I'm coming to Cali on Saturday night, SFO. I won't be in Rancho Cucamonga, though. I wouldn't mind visiting my friend, though, where you like the music in the background? It's from the coffee shop. The owners of the coffee shop are French. They play this different type. I don't know if this is French music, but sometimes it's French words. Is it San Clemente? Yeah, my friend lives in San Clemente. I really like San Clemente. That's where they make the rainbow sandals. Yeah, you can meet me at the airport, right? 10 o'clock. Man, I grew up 10 minutes from the airport. And all those years, we never flew anywhere. And now whenever I have to fly in 2 or 3 times a year, it's like my parents live 3 hours away. San Clemente Beach. No, the owners of this cafe are French. That's what I said earlier. My grandfather was French. I've said that before. Rob, no sleeping. Yeah, Rob's off. Everyone's off. This is kind of we don't have a lot of questions today. Anyone have a closing question, or I'm gonna cap it, I think. Well, congratulations on your new place and new beginnings. Cheers. If my ex contacted me out of the blue, I doubt I'd have anything to say. I'd probably just say hi and ask she is to be awkward having another run-in. Sounds like a good idea there. That guy I'm talking about is French. Oh, really? Comment allez-vous? Yeah, just Patricia, I think you asked me about this before. Just ask the guy out, or tell him you have feelings. If you need to lead a little bit, and if he rejects you or something like that, then you know where you stand. You can continue being friends. It's no problem. A woman pushing the throttle a little bit if you have the interest and you're kind of confused. You might just be shy and he needs a little bit of a push. Coach, when approaching a girl, does that connection thing or body language have to be present first, or just approaching is worth an attempt? I think I think if you have a good connection, your body language lines up, if that makes sense. So even if you go into a this is just my opinion. You guys, Rob would probably give you an opinion on this stuff too. If you go into a date or you're meeting someone for the first time, maybe you're uncomfortable because of the place. Maybe you just came out of traffic, so you're a little bit jumpy. People don't realize everything that happened to you prior to the day can affect your mood when you meet someone. You could have a headache, all these things. But before that, when you come in, whatever happens in that first moment might be awkward or uncomfortable or slouch shoulders or this or that. But once you get talking, once you get cooking on things, 10, 15 minutes into things, it's even like that when I do a live coaching session. Sometimes the first 10 minutes, someone's really cold. They're just like that. They're uncomfortable. They're awkward. Other people, we get into flow right away. We get into rapport right away. Sometimes it takes me 10 or 15 minutes to get people to relax and talk about what's going on. Sometimes it takes 30, 40 minutes. And so I would say that you, as being someone that's leading a good conversation in your frame, asking good questions and being present, the body language of both of you, once you're in rapport, will start matching, if that makes sense. And like I mentioned, NLP has a lot of stuff about this that's interesting. And so I would say that a good connection based on good conversation will change each other's body language. Or just approaching is worth an attempt. I don't know what you mean by that second question. Coach, when approaching, so approaching a girl like a cold approach. If it's a cold approach, I mean, did you have good eye contact? Number one, did you have good eye contact, like smiling eyes? Number two, you do cold approaches with nothing to lose, because you don't really know the person and you go into it with confidence. And if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Well, that's great, Nico. That's outstanding. That'll take you far. Try to breathe deeply 10 breaths. I'd rather feel hate than awkwardness. Interesting way to put it. Why not instead what I would say, I'd rather not feel hate or awkward. How about an alternative? How about an alternative to hate and being awkward? You're basically, with what you just said, Nico, you're saying like you're giving yourself a pat on the back or reason that it was okay for what you said because, being hateful is better than being awkward. But there's also other feelings and other ways to close out that would be better than those two things. Bud Rums, you got my video response. Was it okay with you, Bud? Because you did a private one, but you answered have nothing to lose. If you're gonna, and the crazy thing, Juan, in my estimation now, and right on, Bud. Bud Rums just did a private video response for their situation, so I didn't heard back from you in an email. I hope it helped you. Wish you a good night too. What I meant, do you have to eye contact prior to a good body language, or a good cold approach is fine too? I'm not a cold approach expert. Like I've told you before, I'm not a pickup artist, but I would say good eye contact. Right on, Nico. I would say good eye contact. I don't know the body. When someone finds you attractive, because a cold approach, someone finds you attractive. But if you go up, women find it attractive sometimes if guys just have the balls to ask for their number. And so, it's just a discovery mission. cold approaches are really hard. Kudos to you just for attempting it. And I think that in 2019 and 21st century, a lot of people don't use cold approaches now with Tinder and the dating apps. So you're probably going to have a fair amount of women that are going to be awkward just because everyone's on their phone all the time. And that's how people communicate. But that being said, there's some women that still like it. So you just go into that. You don't know them. You don't have a lot to lose, right? The worst thing to do would be trying too hard or waiting too long. If you're going to do a cold approach, you don't want to be, sitting there making gawky eyes for 2 hours. Just want to watch your session tonight, though, taking notes. Hi, Coach. You better call Tyrone. Hi, Coach. My ex got engaged just days after breaking up. Now I've been in no contact since 3 months. She randomly contacted me yesterday. She wanted to meet up. I didn't respond. Any suggestions? If she's engaged, no, and no, because you're gonna know where that individual stands right now, right? And what are you revisiting? Okay, so that was a lot of people want to know out of a breakup. They're like, oh, I wish they would just have gotten with someone else, so then I just know it's over. People say that all the time. You know where they stand. You're not gonna. Tyrone, if you get back involved in this, you're entangling yourself in a drama web. I mean, if if you're asking me that, what do you want, Tyrone? Do you want to revisit someone where someone got engaged immediately after being with you? That would convey to me that she was seeing someone else prior to you breaking up. Cold approach equals confidence. I've done the cold approach in a few places. It's situational. For guys, yes. I used to do cold approach and they worked almost every time, but I don't bother with it anymore these days. Why? Because you use dating apps? I'm just asking. If you don't want nothing from a person, then you stay calm and not showing interest. On campus, it's a bit difficult. It's like Max said, everyone is looking down on their phone. You just have head. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think you're millennials and you're, in their 20s. I think it's different now. I think that if you tap someone on the shoulder while they're looking at their phone or listening to music, they're not in the mood. It's different. And people like planning things through their phone. Does that make sense? And so a lot of these people do dating apps. I'd say people that are in their 30s to 40s are more open to it. But I think early 20s, unless you're at a party and they're not on their phone, it's different. I think it's different. Because they're like, who's this guy that just came up to me while I'm looking at my phone? You're actually disturbing them. This writing is also a bit cold approach because I don't express everything. Every thought, write every word. I don't know what that means. I don't use apps, but I just don't really go way out of my way to meet girls. Usually meet them through mutual friends or at parties. Fair enough. You're not on any search and destroy missions. Dating apps are a waste of time. I'd rather just meet a nice girl. You know what? I've met a lot of people that have met their girlfriends and I've had good experiences on dating apps. So you teach their own. Well, if you're a social person, parties are a good place. And if you meet like-minded people there, go for it. And that's your wheelhouse. Right on, bud. Well, on the phone thing is just not having manners to me and disrespectful. It's a reality, though. I mean, the people that are in their late teens to early 20s right now, I mean, they've grown up on that. Like I didn't grow up with a phone in my hand. I feel the same way, Sabina. Like I told you, there's going to be rehabs for phone issues in the future. There's going to be social media rehabs. I've been on Zooks a week. Think I had a couple scammers already. I'm not familiar with that one. Dating apps are the new normal. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, to each their own. Some people think they're great. Some think they're wonderful. Some think it's hard. To me, ideally, you'd meet someone at work, common ground areas, a cafe, a restaurant, the gym, somewhere where you can kind of see them in person first. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, seeing someone in a picture and seeing someone in person is different. So what you're doing with dating apps is you're increasing the number of options, the quantity, but you're increasing the amount of sorting you have to do. Does that make sense? It's like if you had a business and you had 1,000 customers and you were selling expensive items and only 3 or 4 were going to buy them, you're not targeting the people that would be most interested. Normal is to have communication skills to talk to a person. I nearly had myself a girlfriend in my last year of college, but I either missed the chance to ask her or I was too busy getting in trouble. T-Mac, dating apps can't duplicate face-to-face chemistry. I agree. Unfortunately, you're right about a lot of people having social anxiety thanks to dumb phones. I've never heard that said. It's very difficult to meet someone on dating apps. Again, to each their own. Some people say they're good, and there's many different dating apps, so maybe try a couple different ones. I've had a past client. He was on dating apps off and on for a year. I think he used Hinge, and he met a great girl. I think they're going to get married, and he's kept me updated on it, and it took some time. Go on bad dates first. I disconnect myself from such a thing. I just like to try to talk to people around me and say hello to people passing by. I'm almost certain I'm going to run into my ex this weekend at my fraternity party. Well, at least you have your brothers with you. Face-to-face talking shows everything. Absolutely. Well, the crazy thing, Sabine, is now people have gone to text, and when you don't talk on the phone, you don't get tone, and tone of voice is big compared to emojis and LOLs and yelling. Yes, your personality can't show through a computer as much as in real life, so you better be super good looking or have really good Photoshop. I had good look on Zeus app for the brief times I've used them. Okay, good feedback. Judy Jack. No dating young people, the phone people. Lots of people lack those communication skills around me. Okay. It kind of feels weird being in the coffee shop today, but it's doable. We got an hour in. The reason I'm doing it is they had to cut the electric on my block. They're doing some repairs. So I was like, you know what? I'll try doing it in the coffee shop today. Hopefully it'll stay empty for a little while. But if someone came in here, who cares? It's just like having a conversation. Henry G. I haven't seen you on the show before, HG. Dating apps are silly. All right. Let's ask this, folks. What's the alternative to dating apps or a cold approach? 1 hour in, 1 hour to go. I don't know if I can do 2, Robbie. It's crazy how bad people are at simple communication things like solid eye contact. You know what's interesting about that, C. Riddle? I consider myself a very good communicator, a very good conversationalist. But when I'm sitting across from someone, when I'm talking to them, I find myself, I'll do this or I'll look up. And to me, it's processing the question and really thinking about it. So I don't just sit there and I notice when I do it too, I think about a question. I think the people in good conversations are the ones that remember things about you in past conversations or ask questions pertaining to what you're talking about. What you drinking? It's an iced latte. Too much milk in this one. Only dating app I used was Tinder. What a waste of my time. And it was nearly asked someone out a few years ago who I met through a former friend. Seems cold approach is like something of the past and dating apps are taking over. It depends on where you're at in the world too, because different cultures are different, right? I'm sure the cold approach at a nightclub or a bar still works if someone's not on their phone the whole time. Looking back at my own life, I wasn't a big cold approach person. I met women through school, through work, the gym, mutual friends. So I don't remember just going up to someone on the mall and getting a number and then hooking up. I'm trying to think. That was a regular thing. We got some people coming in here. Too many bots and Snapchat girls. Yes, I was reading some studies about social anxiety. You speak facts. Academic conference are cool, though. That would be cool. What are you studying, Juan? I might have asked you this before. What are you studying, bud? Everyone is not on their phone, and people just talking to everyone. Met so many cool people. There are good conversations. See, if you read Models by Mark Manson, he talks about demographics in a chapter and going to places with like-minded people. If you like yoga, then go to a yoga retreat. If you like wine, go to wine festivals. If you like football, maybe you'll meet a chick at a tailgate. Meet people at places where you're doing stuff you like. Absolutely, C. Riddle. Simple said. Then at least you'll have a topic to talk about, like a fraternity party. I worked for a POF for 6 years. There's a lot of sleazy stuff that goes on, like allowing bots to operate because they drive up revenue. Turn me off. Well, thanks for the insight, bud. I didn't know that, T-Mac. Are you a Tracy McGrady fan? Agree, C. Riddle. Mac, what are some of your books you've recommended others to read? I might have to read them myself. Well, in regards to what? For you, Dylan, go with The Rational Male and Models by Mark Manson. Start with The Rational Male and go with Models by Mark Manson. Start with those. Galas, charity events. Doing charity somewhere is highly underrated. Doing charity, you can't lose. It's better to have your focus in life and meet people on your path. 100% true, Henry G. Art museums. I think you mentioned that you went on dates with someone on your museum. I went on a date in a cold approach out of my, when I was broken up. The girl was great. I just was in a bad place mentally out of my breakup. But I took her to a museum in San Francisco. I can't remember them. And the museum had an exhibition from Egypt, and they had King Tut's actual mummy and tomb. I guess they fucking rotate those from museum to museum. It's pretty cool, actually. We actually had a really cool date. I was just still wounded at the time. Applied mathematics with computer science, and I'm doing a academic conference at Hawaii. Fuck, man, Juan, you're on deck, buddy. Cool, man. Mathematics wasn't my thing. You know why? Because math, like in high school, you used to get to sit in groups for geometry and algebra, and I would just sit there and talk. No matter who it was, I would just talk the whole time. And one of the teachers even called my mom and was like, he's just not doing his work. My mom's like, what's going on? I said, when I'm in a group of 4 or 5 people, I just talk the whole time. And it could be not even people, friends or anything. I remember I can't do work like that in a group. I just talk to people even when I'm traveling on airport. I'm like meeting police. Me too. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Good book. I found it redundant because I felt like I worked retail, I've worked service jobs, and so I felt like I do some of these things already. But it's a good book. Good suggestion, T-Mac. It's a classic. I guess that's why there is lots of communication at conferences, because everyone there has research and you have common ground. If you're really good in sales and you're a really good people person, you naturally find common ground. When I used to be in real estate, my mentor at the time, he's like, damn, dude, you're really good at finding common ground. And it wasn't tried. It's just being interested. So, Coach, what's your worst breakup? Oh, I've talked about this many times. 10 years ago, it's in countless videos. I'm over it completely. But, yeah, that would be the worst breakup. 10 years ago, we were together for 5 years, lived together. It was tough. Like I said, I've talked about it in numerous videos. I saw King Tut's thing here in Toronto. So it does move around. I'm right. Right, Rob? Just be yourself and don't let people, man or woman, take advantage. Could you type the name of those books? Okay. Not to mention the thing, folks, Just type in those. I don't need to put the Rational Nail Roll, Tomasi Models, Mark Manson. Dylan, get them. I think they would serve you well. The one above, How to Be a 3%. Don't really know what book type you're looking for. Yes, I always talk to people that sit around me and talk just about the whole flight. You were the student, huh? I'm a lasered focus to the professor always. In math class, I was because they'd give you free time in a group. But actually, as a young kid, I was probably what you'd call the like class clown or something. I just talked a lot. I wasn't a jerk or nothing. I'd get even when I was a little kid, I always got in trouble for talking. I always had to put my name on the board. Mac, put your name on the board. And teasing. I used to tease a lot. My ex complained about selfish communication. Were you selfish, T-Mac? What is selfish communication? Yeah, the King Tut was in tour a few. Yeah, okay, so yes, I went to King Tut in California Science Center. Not with her. Okay. Funny story. One flight, I had an empty seat next to me, and the last person to get on was a huge dude. I was like, please don't sit by me. He did, and we ended up having a great conversation. That's how I am, dude. That's how I am. I actually, where I live, like being at a cafe like this, I'll run into people and I'll be like, you from America? Or are you from here? And I'll just start talking to them. I'm the same way. Oh, thanks for the suggestion, Rob. So just look up Rollo Tomasi on YouTube and maybe you can look that up. Maybe that's why you guys like my channel, because I'm personable also, so we have something in common. I mean, that's why I love being a teacher. I like having the floor. Teaching class is fun. You want to be a teacher, Juan? Because that's what I always wanted to do, is be a professor. But in an interesting class or something like that, I'm interested. Not sure. She doesn't communicate so hard to know when they harbor resentment and don't tell you until the breakup. Well, I mean, if you don't feel like you were selfish in communication, don't let that label be put on you by someone else's opinion, unless you really think there's some truth to it. So what's your theory on attraction styles playing a big factor on no contact? I don't know what you mean by attraction styles, Henry G. Henry, have you sent your story in? I think the best thing you could do, if you want my opinion on your individual case, would be to send your story into writemac.com. I don't know what you mean by attraction styles and the playing a factor. Can you elaborate? But I do think I can take over a conversation. Okay, well, there you go. Maybe that's what it was. Always keeping everything in your frame, always having people answer to you or talking over people. That would be selfish in some ways. I've done that before myself, just being someone that can aggressively talk. Cheers, Mac. Whenever I get Wi-Fi, I'll look them up. Also, what's your longest relationship? Longest relationship? 7 years. Did you see Lakers versus Clippers yesterday? I saw the highlights, 10 minutes. I thought the Lakers are going to be the best team, but the Clippers look damn good, even without PG. I was actually blessed. I was scared of flying at the time. He had been flying for 30 years and told me it would be fine. Definitely calm my nerves. You had a little angel on deck, huh? That's what, first impressions, you think, oh, this guy's huge, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you opened up, you were flexible, and it worked out for you. Send it in, Mac. Definitely is on point with facts. Bud Rums, I did a private video response recently, so I've gotten to a point where I'm pretty good at giving you my take on your relationship and your breakup situation in a non-biased, honest way that gets very good feedback from the people I deal with. So I can say that with confidence. I actually always said I'd never be a teacher, but after working as a math tutor and actually helping people, that felt so good. It is something I'm considering, but in the future. Absolutely, bro. You know what you could do, Juan, is definitely look at teaching abroad. Thailand has international schools, Japan, Korea, Europe, and just do it for a year as an in-between thing, and great life experience, and then see where you stand with it. You don't have to jump through all the hoops back home. Adjon.com is one to get information about teaching in Thailand. I know you're not going to do it anytime soon, but if you were thinking about you're going to get your BA and then you're going to get your master's, maybe a year in between, you go do something like that or go to Japan. Do you find that with a lot of stories you get, there are only a handful of different issues, problems people bring up, or is it numerous? I suspect it's about. That's a really good question. Actually, no, it's not 5 or 6. It's different. It's more intricate. It's more nuanced. There's similar things, especially university. University has a lot of the girl wanted to break up because she wants to hang out with her friends and party more, and the guy got needy. So that one comes up a lot. But the biggest difference, Rob, and why you have to write your story out is how they're looking at it is always different based on their past life experiences. And so that's the intricate part of it, that my approach, I think, is a bit different. I've had people tell me they've talked to other coaches and other people, and literally they'll be telling their story or explaining themselves, and someone will go, yeah, I understand that. Let me just tell you what to do. Or this person is just shit testing you. Well, yeah, they're shit testing you, or you're being beta or needy, but like, we need to dig the roots of where that comes from. And so the way you tell me your story, and a lot of people will go, well, my dad always told me I was ugly. So that chimes into if your partner said they didn't like your t-shirt and you were crushed because you associated that with looking ugly from when you understand what I'm saying? So it gets deeper. And the way you write the story, the style of it is different. It's like a signature. And so that could be different. But like if you were saying, surprisingly, I don't get a lot of stories of cheating because I don't think a lot of people like to share that. You think that would be one that comes up a lot. It doesn't. It comes up, but yes, Mac, I started thinking of that last week. I wanted to ask you actually how. I would love that. Do it, Juan. If you don't want to do Thailand, that's fine. But there's international schools over here. If you got pretty good credentials that you could jump right in. And just do it for a year, just for a life experience. But the other ones would be Japan, Korea. I think there's something called Dave's ESL Cafe. China's got loads of jobs. That just has a lot of information on it. So adjon.com is only for Thailand. But, yeah, do it, man. I came over just for a year and ended up here for 10 years, and I love it. Yeah, Sabina, absolutely. And it puts you, going somewhere new, doing teaching, and then experiencing another country, working there, working with the people, totally different than a vacation. Totally. People come on vacation, and here you want to talk about awkward. People come on vacations and they don't know how to have fun. A lot of them are pissed off. They're uncomfortable. They're angry because they're just out of their element and they've been in the same routine and habit for, the whole year. And so it feels uncomfortable. Go live somewhere else and you groove in. It's a lot more fun. True. How they look at it, it's huge, Rob. I think that's my approach. That's a little different, is that I don't hone in on just the problem. I hone in on who you are as a person. I mean that genuinely. And people afterwards are always like, it's like talking to a good friend. There's a deeper connection that I put on it than just what happened in your breakup. Probably that was also a bad combination of being very introverted and having low self-esteem and not speaking up when others bothered her. Well, there you go. Maybe you weren't meant to be, bud. Interesting. They don't come up because cheating issues are a thing. They come up, Rob. They just don't. It wouldn't be the number one reason. It comes up, but it doesn't come up as often as you would think. Any of those places mentioned would be so sweet. Imagine I say 1 year and the same thing happens. It's not a bad thing, right, Juan? You're single. That's when you want to do stuff like this, is when you're single. I've heard good things about Japan. Korea's probably, I've heard really good things about the money you make. You make more money there. People like Japan. They like Thailand. China's wide open. Vietnam. But you can go to Europe too. So, Rob, all those books are good for sure. But applying all those methods can be hard in life because most people need behavior therapy. It's psychotherapy, and they can't get it from just reading. Okay. My bad. I meant, does no contact differ when attachment styles like avoidant, ancient? Well, Henry G., I'm not against this idea of avoidant and attachment. I just don't put people in those boxes. That's just me. So when people come to me and they're like, oh, you don't know about avoidant attachment, I've read about it. I just think that putting people in 6 or 7 different boxes, people are more nuanced than that, and you're limiting them. So I don't use that technique for people. I take each individual person and I create my own map of that individual. That's just me, especially in doing this work for a couple of years. And so if you like the idea of reading about those, and a lot of people do, and they're, oh, you don't know about those? I know about them. I just don't like putting that box around people. I think that somehow people like to put people in categories, but with 8 billion people in the world, I think, what are you doing? And when you look at those, you read about them, right? And you're like, oh, I could be avoidant attachment. Oh, I could be this. Oh, I could be anxious, such and such. And it starts to confuse you. And then you start to put that label on other people. I'm not sure that serves you. I would just like to read a lot of psychology, do my own thing, and be in the moment and go, all right, the best thing you can do is ask good questions and fucking listen when you get to know people. That's just my opinion. I get that, Mac. Not know how to have fun happens when people just work. It's so true. Living in a place where people go on vacation, a lot of the couples are fighting all the time. I guess it can be very rewarding. You are put someone very unfamiliar, completely new culture to learn. It really must be it's a challenge, but it's fun. And I'll tell you what, if you're out of a breakup or you're battling alcohol or something like that, like you had, being in the present moment in a new place really strips away anxiety and sadness, because you have to learn a new place to survive. And so you're more in the present. If you ever have questions, Juan, about that, or you're interested in Thailand specifically, you can send me an email. When your ex starts pulling away, you can start acting very anxious. Sure. I find the best people whose books work for are those that are very simple, open to new ideas, willing to do the work to reinforce new methods of understanding. Yeah, when you read a book at the right time, you get a lot more out of it. If it's not the right time, you'll think it's shit. And then 2-3 years later, we were talking about this on Masculine Energies live stream. You could read a book now, and 2 years from now, it could be a totally different message. What it do, Skinner? Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. MTV Raps, a little Fab Five Freddy. I love the name Skinner. Brian Skinner. So you may mislabel yourself. I don't know what you mean by that question in regards to what? With continually reinforcing or watching videos or even these Mac live streams, it's easy to go back to the old ways. No problem, Juan. You're good people, bud. I'm sincere, man. I'm sincere on that. I mean, if you want to talk about beyond your breakup, about if you're really thinking about studying abroad or teaching abroad, you might want to get a video session. We can talk about it, because it's at first you're worried a lot, what am I going to do? How much is it going to cost? That's the great thing about consistently watching Coach Mac McCarthy. It keeps everything fresh in front of the mind. Well, thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. We're building a little tribe here. We're getting some more people. A good saying I read is, when an ex comes back, they are a shell of what you used to be. Could be. I think by now I spent 5,000 hours researching, learning this material. Mislabel yourself as anxious attachment style because of your reaction to your partner pulling away before the breakup. I don't really like putting labels on myself that aren't serving myself. So you really have to, the language you use in describing yourself guides your subconscious. And so if it's a negative thing, like calling yourself, well, I'm an anxious attachment, well, you're going to make that true. Someone that goes around and tells everyone that they're depressed and they take pills for it, instead of going, I've got depression right now and I'm working on it and I'm going to get through it, is a lot better way to look at it. I'm Mac McCarthy. I help people with their breakups. I'm a teacher. I'm a writer. I'm a breakup coach. I wouldn't throw in, I'm also an ancient attachment style. See how that's different? Exes come back, but a lot won't come right out and tell you what they want. And that's where certainty comes in. Everyone wants certainty. You're never going to know exactly what anyone wants, right? Except for when they buy a coffee from you and give you $5 for it or whatever. I have a buddy who's been on disability for 30 years and he's convinced he can't work because, T-Mac, that's my point. That's my point. And I'm not saying I've got family members in the T-Mac. Are you from the States? I've got, people getting on that, and then they become more disabled by the identity that they took on because they went out on a disability, and then they got money from that. And it was a real real disability and everything, but then they use that and they subconsciously, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, and they just stop trying to do anything. And then 5-10 years go by, and yeah, you're getting a check every month, but you're not very happy with shit, because you have to have a purpose. You have to be doing something you're proud of, in my book. Rika's homie space. Great. Is that your channel? I'm currently in a no contact with a Suedo. 4-month LDR. We spent 10 days already together after he ghosted me when I confronted him via text about him not telling the truth about him dating others. Well, there's your clarity. What do you want from this, Rika? Should I contact or wait for him? I've helped him with his biz, and he helps me with my sports training. I mean, it's a 4-month long distance is a problem, or you're okay with it? Because long distance is always going to be a problem. Long distance relationships, 4 months, 1 year, 6 months, they're not ideal because there's a finish line. Rob, my ex pops up every so often asking random things that don't even mean much. She's fishing. Estimated 2 or 3 hours, sometimes more per day, but at least 7 hours. No doubt you're probably more qualified than a lot of the coaches out there. I'd say even those with masters and stuff. Well, thanks, Juan. I'm 38 years old, so I've accumulated some fucking knowledge, and I've lived on a couple continents. You know what's interesting, being a teacher for 10 years is the amount of students, different people that you teach and come across is fuck, dude. In the university, I had 200 students a term. It's a lot of people, man. Exes come back, but a lot won't come right out and tell you, okay. Oh, this thing's getting vibrant now. I'm okay with it, but I need clarity from him. But he's not opening up. Walk out or reach out to get clarity. Where's your power in the situation? It sounds like you're waiting on him to do something, and then you react to it. What do you really want? And go forward with that with good intentions, Rika. I love her very much, but she definitely need to work on stuff. I can tell after I answered that. She asked for, she tried to tell me about a concert she went to. You're in the driver's seat, Skinner, and you know it, and it feels good. You're just sitting there like this. Oh, yeah? Sweet. Oh, yeah? Okay, cool. Hey, do you want to get out at the corner over here? Cool, I'm fine. I gave up my disability check in order to contribute to society as far as taxes and having a social life. Having that mentality really puts you in your box with no social life. Well, good for you, Henry G. And I just want to say, anyone that has a disability or went out, I'm not down talking you. Okay, I just want to be clear about that because I do have compassion. But I think that at some point, if you're capable, you got to get up off the mat and get back in and contribute. And I agree with you, and I applaud that, Henry G. Good for you. Good for you. EG's on deck. I contacted my ex-fiance many years ago. We actually just had a friendly hello once a year from then on. It's nice. We grew, and she has a family, so it's nice to know she is happy, and so am I. Well, that says a lot about you as an individual to be okay with that. Hi, Bob. I don't know if there's a Bob on here. That's the way, maybe Rob. What's your advice as far as social media activity, as far as posting on my story and stuff? She's always the first to post. Should I take a break and make wonder? Doesn't scarcity cause curiosity? Well, Ian, I mean, if you're trying really hard to get her attention, then I would say, I always think taking a break from social media when you're in a breakup generally is good for you. Because right now you're sensitive to anything that comes in, and you can twist things up and take it the wrong way. And so why not take the bull by the balls and go, where's my power out? Go, you know what? I'm going to go on a 30-day social media fast just for myself, not for her, not for anyone else, just to see how it makes me feel. No, not putting a label on anything. Ian, how old are you? My ex left me, and my pets told one lie after another. He's a narcissistic. And my pets told one lie after another? I don't follow that. If, when you break up and you label your ex a narcissistic person, that's when you're done. People constantly go, they were this, they were that, they were this, they were that. It's like, stoning someone in the middle of the village. At some point, aren't you better off? If they were a bad person, they lied to you, and they're a narcissist, then you're better off. You're good. You don't need to jump at the top of the mountains telling everyone how bad a person they were, because your relationships and the way you handle them are a reflection of where you're at in your own life. And so if you got clarity and go, wow, I got entangled with a narcissist, I'm glad I'm out of that relationship now. In a month or 2 months, I've had narcissistic friends. And, when you break ties with them, you feel like, oh, shit, I didn't realize how manipulative they were. And then you're like thankful. You don't go around telling everyone, yeah, this person's a narcissist. This is this, because it just adds more to the story and you're not letting go. Since I got my disability, I gave up trying to find work. There's hardly many jobs in Tassie anyway, but I know what I'm going to do. All right, well, that's good. E.g., did I do the right thing of blocking my ex on social media? I would say I'd rather block them than stalk them. It feels great. Last time we talked, she told, apologized, and she wished me the best. Now here we are. Cruising. Just cruising. No, he did. I don't know what you're asking, Rosanna. Oh, come on, Ian. Don't say you got gray hair like you're 40. Give me a break. 27 is an outstanding age, dude. It's okay. I started to have gray hair early, too. Women look at Richard Gere. My mom's always liked him. Dude, tell me about it. Lots of outside learning out of my academic. I learned how to build a website 1 week just from wanting to learn new mathematics. I felt that hunger, man. Good for you. Social media is mostly fake. Oh, there you go. Thanks for helping them out, Rob. Juan's good people. 2 rebounds last. Can you write your story in? Because when you ask generalized questions here, I'm sorry for taking a deep breath, because all these things don't apply to every situation. So do rebounds last? Yes, sometimes they do. Yes, sometimes they don't. That's the short answer. There's no rules to it. Okay. What happens is people break up and they want to believe what they want to believe, and their ex gets a new relationship, and it's like, oh, they're in a rebound. Well, call it a rebound or not call it a rebound. They're in a new relationship. Let them go. Let them go. Don't hover that. Don't put any ideas on that. Rebounds can last. What's a rebound in your book? Block over stock. That's a new phrase, right? Just remember, guys, if your partner walked, they can't have you like a light switch at their convenience. Good point, Harvey G. Some bitter coaches who pretty much label every ex a narcissist. I prefer to think my ex is a nice person who, for whatever reason, thought it wasn't working. I think that's a far better way to frame it. Silver Fox, that used to be a bar in San Diego. It's the best way to be. Factors of all fact. Laugh out loud. I'm going for that Silver Fox. Look, Ian. Women agree with Mac. Music to my ears. Got it down, Rob. We'll check the video out. Ian, that's very fashionable. Now I'm actually blonde. That shit. Some people are dyeing their hair gray. No rules, but I'd say rebounds fail a solid 80% of the time, but it depends how quick after the breakup. If it's within a week, likely won't last. Oh gosh, thank you. I want to have a conversation that's just truthful. I'm 70% there and letting go. At least I get closure and end it with integrity. Yay or nay. Reach out with his ghosting. Ending with integrity is fucking outstanding. Where's the 30%? Taking care about hair is very important. I personally have never known someone who had an ex on a rebound where it worked. I mean, what's the definition of a rebound, though? I currently found a nice, attractive catch, but that won't get my hikes. But I'll check in and see how she's from the inside and the outside. Rika, sometimes you don't get closure. Deep, dude. Check this. Lots of students average complain about the eye. Okay. The truth is never up for debate, although we can debate to determine the truth. Good point, Rob. Good point. I used to blame my ex for all kinds of stuff. Then I reflected on my wrongdoings. to her and other people in my life. It helps to self-reflect. It helps to take responsibility and accountability for what your role was. That's called maturity. It's mindful, and that's growth. Rika, it takes a bit of time off that relationship to get perspective on the situation. Attractiveness won't only get me. She has to have personality. Well, I hope so. Attractiveness is the lure, right? When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Technically, I was rebounding. She was fresh out of a relationship when we were together 3.5 years, so may not have succeeded. But, well, I mean, if you lasted 3.5 years, you went into a long-term relationship. That's what I'm saying. It can work. Rebounds can work. Someone, because this comes up a lot. Someone, I don't know, this was like 8 or 9 months ago or a year ago. The guy broke up with his wife at 15.5 years, had a great relationship. They had kids. He had stepkids. He says, this is how he met her. Ready for this? He breaks up with his girlfriend or wife prior to that. I don't know what it was. I believe the guy was in about his mid-40s or something like that. Within a week, his neighbor has this lady that's her best friend come over, and they're hanging out and whatnot. He gets with her that week, and they end up, dating, getting married for 15 years. Was that a failure? I mean, it was a rebound if you think about it. They met a week after his other long-term relationship ended. I mean, I wouldn't, if you ended up with the woman for 3.5 years and it was pretty good, and then it wasn't, would it be a rebound? I don't know. There's a lot of people out there. My grandmother, okay, God rest her soul, she's passed away years back. Good lady. She's married 4 times, and the last 2 times she was married quite quickly after, and she was happily married. I mean, quickly. At the age, people simply don't have a lot of life experience, and life experience dictates a lot. Is it invaluable? Absolutely. Academic smart is only part of succeeding in an unfair world. Great way to put it, Rob. I'm going to start calling you Robert with official shit like that. I try my best to stay off social media by working like crazy and keeping busy. But when I don't view her post, I notice that when she reaches out, still want her back. But I guess time will tell. Tips. Trust the process. Do not contact makes new friends. Pick up a new hobby. And remember, you're protagonist of your own life. Good point, Henry. Welcome to the show, by the way. Rebound success happens, but it's rare. If you're bettering man, it's almost safe to bet that the quick rebounds are bound to fail. Yeah, I guess if you want to put odds on it, you can. I think women are better at going into a quick rebound than men, probably. Depends on what kind of rebound, though. It's just for sec. Yeah, definitely. There's the nuance. It's 8 billion people in the world. It's different. You can still call me Robert or Roberto. I prefer Robert. Her ex was terrible. Fenced her stuff for drug money. Cleaned her apartment out when they split and cheated. I treated her very well, so I was never really worried about her going back. Well, good for you, but there was probably a little bit of smoke on the field from that relationship. T-Mac, I don't see that as a rebound. Look, that she finished with her ex, even maybe longer than the relationship. Then you met it. Sure was about you. I have a feeling I might have a rebound with my ex next weekend as I'm planning a day out, friends. We might in the area where she's seen before. I think I'm just being paranoid. Don't overthink it, bud. Let it happen. Rebounds are tricky because they hurt over them while with you. Okay? If someone has a fully fledged boyfriend within a few days of a breakup, especially one they just met, well, here's the thing to that, Rob. Did they just meet him? Here's my thing. I don't like telling people this because it just puts thoughts in their head, and who knows if it's true or not. But in my head, if someone's engaged or they get serious and hot and heavy with someone within a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, did they already have that on the menu? Have they already been seeing that person? Did they already have an escape plan? So then it's not really a rebound. It's already been in the works. They might have been cheating on you with that. There's all kinds of different parts of that. Therein lies the question of the hour. Did they just meet? That's my, and I don't, when I'm talking to someone, I'm stuttering here because I feel bad. But sometimes I'm like, if I was really negative, I'd go, well, they probably knew him already. You know, if they worked with the person or something like that. People don't just meet someone at the bank 1 week out of a relationship and get in a relationship. Most of them, if they knew someone or someone got introduced that they've been known. If they jumped to another relationship within a week of the relationship ending, they were definitely window shop. Yeah, window shopping or seeing that person. There's all kinds of things. It's possible, but most likely. And here's the other thing. You could be in a relationship for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. You could be hot and heavy. You can be madly in love, and your ex has been out of it for a year. There are guys out there that search for girls looking for a rebound. It's a quick, fast relationship, usually involved. Oh, yeah. There's guys that absolutely will be the shoulder to cry on as a bridge to hooking up. For sure. I think it might be forgivable if it's a LDR. LDR is a different animal, for sure. For sure. We ended up going an hour and 36 now, and I got to talk to someone in the afternoon, Rob. I might have to save my vocals here, bud. Might have to save my vocals. Any closing questions? Where are you, Lack? You mean Mac? I'm at a coffee shop. Here you go, bud. I'll just give you guys a. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I got the whole attic space. People think it's my own office. They come up and they go, "Oh, sorry." Recently, I scrolled down my old photos and apparently I forgot to erase a final photo of her, but thought of erasing it. Big fat minute, and I did. Oh, fully healed. Yeah, erase the picture. I've never heard that saying, Henry G. I've never heard that one, dude. Guys combing the nightclubs looking for vulnerable girls who just broke up, listening to the problems and then enjoying it. Why is it so empty? It's a big cafe. It's raining really hard today, but it's the low season, so there's less people here. But I'll take it. It's like I have my own office today. It all worked out. I forgot about the live present to have a future. That's why going for walks and running is one of the greatest things for anxiety. It's not just exercise. You have to be in the present moment or else a car will hit you. You understand me? You can't be stuck in the past the whole time. What is your advice on exes with the grass is greener syndrome? That's my issue with my ex for sure. Well, they're going to have to see if the grass is greener. You're not going to stop them or explain to them that. If they believe that, that's not something that you're going to explain or you're going to sell them on. Otherwise, they got to go and see for themselves. And then you got to pick up your ball sack, right? You got to go, all right, do I want to sit around here and wait for her to, well, I'll leave if you ever want to talk to me again or you ever want to see me again, the door's always open, even though you want to see what else is out there and I'll be here waiting. Well, that's really clean. That's really nice of you. That's really sweet of you. On the flip side, I'd say, okay, I hope it works out for you. That's it. Done. That's your response to it. What else are you going to do? Oh, you'll hate it over there. You're just going to, you'll just end up with this kind of a guy, or you just, no. All right, check what it's like. I wish you the best. And then you know what you do? You look over the mountain yourself too and see if it's greener for yourself. Because I'll tell you what, if someone's doing that, I don't know if I want to be with them long-term again. The hardest part of being dumped is thinking about them with another guy. Even that's starting to fade, thankfully. Well, of course, it's just natural to think that way. Sent you an email for a session. Right on. I forgot about the past. I probably will be changing the time availabilities because I'll be in the States the next 2 weeks. So that might even be better. Might be better for people because a lot of people are in the States, not you, Sabina. I forgot about the past. I live in the present to have a future. Okay. I hear people say that a lot, knowing actually what makes it easier. Because not knowing it is what creates the anxiety. Oh my God. You're really late. Fun Sawa. Already been through that with my ex-wife. With my wife was a cheater, so I think the experience helped because her life fell apart and she tried to crawl back. Well, the grass isn't always greener, but it can be. So I've had this girl who I chased for a year come back after I ghosted her for 6 months. Now no feelings. Weird. Have you had this situation? Well, that means that would qualify. This isn't avoiding attachment. This is called you're over it, which is a good thing. I would rather be in a situation where you have no feelings over someone that you chased for a year, and now she's going, oh, now I'm interested. Now I'm available. I'd certainly rather be in a situation like that than be in a situation where I'm chasing. I'm so late. I know, babe. Sorry, it's 2 a.m. here. Just woke up for no reason. Rob, did you email me back yet? It was it was a lot to unpack. Oh, you guys have been on little emails in between. Cool. I'm already overthinking a rebound whenever I'm in that area with friends for one or two reasons. I start thinking I hope I see her, or I wonder if she's in the area for some reason. People think they can just exit your life and come back when it's convenient for them. Well, where's your power, Skinner? You can also close the exit door, can't you? When they come back in, you say, hey, sorry, business is closed right now. That train left a long time ago. A friend of mine said that when they had an ex come back. They said the ex came back. They said that train left a long time ago. I told her I don't want nothing yet. C stays like goo. My ex is known for jumping from woman to woman. Can't be by himself. Well, is that someone you want to be with long term? Michael Anthony. Hey Mac, thanks so much. Doing work today at 100 hour and 42 minutes, huh? Hey Mac, thanks so much for the session. Me and Michael had a good one. Yeah. Cheers, Michael. I hope you're doing well, bud. Good people. PA's finest, right? Feeling feels kind of bad being in a position of power. Really? I can teach their own. I don't have that problem, Mac. A year, I don't know which one that is because I'm far down the thing. A year is over 350 days. Screw waiting for that long for someone. I was good to her, so I don't really worry about her finding greener pastures. That being said, I'm sure I'd take her back. Be honest with yourself, dude. I do have a coworker that is way too forgiving to the other girl we work with. Is that secondhand embarrassment? I like when you use that term. You're welcome, Rita, Rika. I'm not on Skype. Anyone here from Texas? Someone was earlier. Thanks, Rob. What's the problem in a position of power? Power, if it's abused, is a great place. If it's not abused, is a great place to be. With great power comes great responsibility. I need to rewind this stream and watch it. Look like a good topic. Well, it's always getting off topic eventually, right? I'm parched. I got to get some water. Rika can be many reasons. It could be that, okay, that's between you guys. Wait. Where the heck is Mac McCarthy? There were days he was fumed at how she treated him, and he's talking about how he'll take his power back, and then the next thing you know, he's finding an excuse to talk to her. Tell him to join the stream, Skinner. I'm from Houston originally. You've been helping me more than breakup, Mac. I haven't had a live session yet, just private session. Self-confidence, breakup, time apart, how to approach you. Awesome. Thanks, bud. I do my best, and I'll take that as a compliment. That it's appreciated. Yeah, but at the end, the best part, I love the streams, though. It's been real, coach. Keep up the good work and keep guiding lost souls. Way to close, Henry G. T-Mac, what did your ex-wife say when she came back? I got to go get some water. That's right. I got to get some lunch. I've been here for a few hours. I got to talk to someone in 3 hours. All right, folks, I'm going to close this down. This has been great. Thanks for the likes. I just watched the highlights, bud. Skinner. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to the States on the weekend, so I'll be watching the games on time. Seeing the Dubs play in a couple days. Clippers and Lakers both look nice, but the Clippers got a deep ass team, man. Pelicans look decent. The live stream is one of the best in the world with the topics yet selected few lucky enough to know. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. It's a big compliment coming from you, buddy. She wasn't even indirect. Cheers, Budrums. Thanks for the likes, folks. Thanks for contributing. I really appreciate it. Came on to just do a short one and ended up an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm not just doing it for you. I enjoy it myself, folks. Curtains.